Well, here we are. We're live, you and me, Howie, right?
That we are.
And I think Jimmy's lurking somewhere back there.
Jimmy's lurking in the background.
Yep. Maybe we'll have a few people will join us. They've got the link.
Lurk,
right?
lurk.
There he is. DJNTV.com/chill, I think, is the link. Is that right?
It's capital DJNTV.com/chill.
Yeah. All right. Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Well, great. This is not a spectator sport tonight. This is a you can join us sport tonight. So feel free to jump in here. In the meantime, we can spend a little bit of time talking about some of the things that are coming up. I think the most anticipated upcoming show for me is December 22nd, because we're going to try to bake some Christmas cookies. And
I've heard about this.
Yes. Did you hear about our special guest? Actually, I feel like it should be her show and I'll be the guest, but the one and only Rachel Lynch will be joining us.
And her mother, Dottie. She is hilarious.
She is the VIP, honestly.
She really is.
You know, Rachel, no offense, because you know I love you, but I really just wanted your mom in the show. You know, it's just no. If anybody can make cooking funny, Rachel and Dottie. I mean, it's and the thing is, it's so real. It's sincere. I think it's just, like John and I were talking just for a few minutes, like, well, what will we do? How will we fill this time? And I said, I don't think we have to worry about it. I said, I don't think we need a plan. I think we just, me and my kids in my kitchen and Rachel and Dottie in theirs. And this thing's going off the rails quick. So,
well, it'll be fun. I've seen some of the ones she's tried to bake before, and the flour's everywhere, and the things her mom says. I'm thinking, I hope she realizes this is a family show.
Yeah, let me make a note here. I may need to remind her that it is a family show. No, I think it'll be great, and I got in the spirit, and I think some people think that these things are scripted or preordained, and I can assure you they are not. If you saw my Facebook post from the other morning, that is the honest to God truth. I was making waffles for the family, and I was trying to use a hand whisk to beat these egg whites, and I'm like, man, this is going to take forever. I'm not having it. And I was like, well, we got a mixer, but it's a great big KitchenAid, and I don't want to deal with that. And I thought, my drill is about 6 feet away from me right now. So chucked that whisk in the drill, and I mean, it just, I'd love to tell you that I thought about this and planned this post, but that is as spontaneous as it gets. It was really in the moment. So
I've done the same thing though. When I make quiche, I don't want to bring out the big thing. I honestly use the cordless drill, and I had an old hand beater that bit the dust. So I saved one of those, and I just chucked it up and boom. And I even clean it that way. There's a tip for you.
Okay.
You turn on the hot water with the spray.
Yeah.
And you just have the thing running nice and slow with the drill underneath the water, then unchuck it, set it in the dish rack.
Might be the cleanest my drill's ever been.
I don't put the drill in, just the beater.
I know, but I knew what you meant, but I was just thinking maybe I should wash my drill. Like, it's probably never been washed. It's a drill. It lives in a toolbox, and it goes to work with me. But yeah, I don't know. So I don't know what I will admit, I've been trying to think what tools could I use on the 22nd, but I don't. My kids aren't going to let me. My son went through that whole cooking thing, his 30 days of kitchen patrol KP duty.
Yes.
So he's taking it pretty serious now, and my daughter, who both of them will be in the show. My son and my youngest daughter both will be in the show. This would be sacrilege if I didn't try to make a good effort out of it. So
I must say, I really enjoyed those 30 days. It brought me back to my Boy Scout days, where it was like, these are life skills. You have to know this stuff. And I'm sure it's going to serve him well. It's something that'll stay with him the rest of his life.
I hope so. Yeah. I think the ability to, to cook for yourself and to cook for others,
Right.
let's be honest, he needs all the help he can get in the dating field. So, you know, I mean, the poor kid, he looks like me, you know, got no chance. You know? Anyway,
so the way to a woman's heart is through her stomach. I thought it was the other way around.
That's what I heard, and I think the fastest way to a man's heart is like right through these two ribs right here. My sister is in med school, so she told me. Looks like we got a bunch of. We should pop some people in here so they can chat with us here. We got Sean and John and John and John. John, how many times are you in here?
Guys, feel free to turn off your mics and join us. Turn your cameras on if you wish.
Yeah, we are unscripted tonight. There is no agenda. I mean, we could talk about whatever you want to talk about. Making waffles with your drill, some great holiday specials.
And someone's trying to join us by phone as well. In the comment or the participant section, you can go up there and change your name so not everybody knows your phone number.
I was just thinking that everybody's going to text you. Yeah, another John has joined us. So
hello, John.
John K has joined us. And
hey guys, how are we going? All well?
And Sean, welcome, Sean.
I think
there he is. He's got his camera on, rocking. I love it.
John Jazz, you have two screens open.
Here, you know what? I'm gonna put him on right there. We're gonna.
How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing?
Hey, Mr. Big Daddy, you are now live on the Tuesday night show here with us. So feel free to join us.
Well, good evening, young fellas. How are we today?
We can barely hear you. You should
just call into the Zoom call and just join us on there.
All right. What's the DJNTV chill room?
Yeah, DJNTV chill room. Yeah, look at that. We get the one and
only. No. Hang on. DJNTV.com/chill.
He's gone. I couldn't stop him. Oh, well. I'll text him real quick. Okay. Like I said, this is totally unscripted. We're doing whatever today. We're all just hanging out, having a good time.
Yeah, it'll be capital DJNTV.com/chill.
Got it.
Takes you right here.
Yep, got it.
I'm working on DJNTV ads right now.
Cool. Hey, and Michael's joined us. Thanks for popping in.
John's got me working.
Welcome, Michael.
That is the most chill pose in the chill room, too. He looks very chill.
It is. We do have, sometimes we're here till 5 or 6 in the morning.
Beautiful tree.
It's.
I want to renegotiate. Nice. I want to be in a pose like his for this show now.
There you go.
That's what John Young gets for putting us in here unchaperoned.
I'm sure once he chases the coyotes away, he'll check in.
Is that what he's doing?
Yeah, Jimmy was on the phone with him. The coyotes were close to the house, so.
We've got a few here, and I don't know if they're in a state of agreement or disagreement with the wolves, but they talk. There he is, Big Daddy. What you doing?
Big Daddy, hello, sir.
You're muted.
Your mic is muted.
Hold on. Now I'm not.
There you go.
Trouble. There we go.
Hello,
fellas.
The most
you're sounding lovely.
2020. You're muted. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Now I'm not muted anymore. You guys are in big trouble now.
Bring it on.
That's right.
Ben, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Because I'm mostly out of my house, I only have my iPad. How can I get with my iPad a nicer background than my living room wall?
Sean,
when I'm doing Zoom calls.
Okay. When you right down at the bottom, you can see the camera icon. If you click on that up arrow, and you can select a virtual background, a pop-up menu will come up, and
there's no camera on the bottom of mine.
Yeah, he's on an iPad, Howie.
Oh, it doesn't show up on an iPad? Oh, that's a shame because here is the virtual background I use on occasion.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
That's
because I'm
nice.
only on an iPad right now. And Jimmy
Yeah,
goes, well, I'll pay for something you can get, or you can come to the office. I'm not traveling 55 minutes to get to my
Yeah.
office to not get paid. No, thanks.
So what do you think about this one, Ben? The mad
I like
scientist
that one.
background lab. That kind of fits us.
Definitely. Is
Us
there
and
one
our
that I can use? So when do you go on with Mike from California?
Mikey Mike is at 10 o'clock, and I
Okay.
cannot wait for that. That man has put 46 years into this business, and he's always done it at a very high level. And tonight we'll find out whether he says peace out for the last time or whether he's going to hang around and do something else.
Nice. I'll tune in then. I'm watching it. I'm going between FBI and the Dallas Cowboy game, so I'll watch on the iPad.
Excellent. Thank you.
All right. So, Ben, can I see you? There he is.
I mean, you could. I
Yeah,
think
Jimmy the
so.
Bomb, how are you, babe?
It's how much of me do you want to see? This is all you get.
Hey, take it easy, Jack. What can I do on my iPad to get something in the background, or can't I?
I don't think you can. I think, just use a different background because I don't think it has the processing engine to do it. But I got to be honest, I don't know. Off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you.
Okay, I'll find out myself.
Hey, Big Daddy.
Jimmy, how are you? And Mr. John from all the way over in Australia. How are you, young man?
I'd say good morning, or is it good night? I'm not sure, but it's.
Hey guys, it's afternoon here. It's just after 1 p.m.
Yeah, I had two
Very
three
nice.
choices and I blew it. All right.
Hey, mate.
How you going? All well?
Do you know our fellow viewer, Scrappa, DJ Scrappa?
Yes, I do. Yes.
Yeah, from Melbourne.
Top guy. Yeah.
He's he is a top guy. He's been loyal in here every night. He's new to, he's been DJing, I guess, just, for family stuff. And now he's getting serious and he's gotten quite good.
That's awesome.
He's gotten
That's great
quite
news.
good. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm happy to catch up with him when I get down to Melbourne again. I'll be down there in 2 weeks' time for Christmas. My parents are from Melbourne, so we're popping down there for a week or so. So yeah, it'll be nice.
Yeah, we have a fellow that tunes in, Alex from Cyprus. He said he was he's going to set his alarm for 4 o'clock in the morning and he does it every day to watch us. So it's our nighttime. It's 4 in the morning for him. I expect him any minute.
Oh, lovely. It was great to see you all, guys. Hope you're all well.
Yeah, you're welcome to stay in here. This is Ben's show. What do you want to do, Ben? You want to take questions or?
Yeah, just hang out and chat with friends. I mean, it's funny you're talking about, Cyprus and Australia and Romania and, the viewers that we have all over the world. I got to be honest, when I first agreed to do this show 6 years ago, it was really just because it was John that asked. I wasn't really looking for more things to do. And I thought, I'll do it for John. It's an hour, it's a week, whatever. It's probably not really going to go anywhere, just kind of thought, just something to do for a friend. I had no idea we'd still be doing it 6 years later, and we'd have done hundreds of shows, and we'd have, like I said, people emailing me from Romania. I got to use Google Translate. I don't even know what language to look up,
Yes.
So.
Yes, that happens to me too. Now, did you know John before he asked you to come on then?
Yeah, I've known John for a long time. And, the real irony is that we are both in Minnesota, of course, although we're almost in like different worlds in Minnesota. Gray Eagle and Bemidji couldn't really be might as well be different countries, let alone different parts of the state.
Minnesota.
Minnesota, don't you know? I really only see John in Vegas or, Atlantic City. I mean, I see him so often in, there as opposed to in the state. And in fact, there was one time I was driving back. I was going down to Minneapolis, or as we refer to that in Minnesota, we call them the cities, because it is the only cities we have, and everything else is a town. But anyway, we were in the cities. I was in Minneapolis, and I was on a call on speakerphone, of course, safely driving, and I was sort of not apparently paying attention to where I was going, and I missed my exit. And next thing I know, I was somewhere I didn't quite recognize. And I realized I needed to consult the GPS now, because even though this is a route I'd taken a million times, I was no longer on the route I had taken a million times. So I punched in home in the GPS and got a tour of rural, southern Minnesota, south central Minnesota. And as I was proceeding on my route home, I saw a sign that said Gray Eagle, 16 miles. I'm like, wow. You got to be kidding me. I really am in the middle of nowhere. So I called John and I said, John, what are you doing? And he said, oh, whatever. And I said, okay, more specifically, what are you doing in 16 minutes? He said, oh, whatever. And I said, great, I'll see you in 15 minutes. And I could tell that Lori was not as thrilled as John was. I don't think any, woman wants to have her home invaded with 15 minutes notice, right? There's some serious protocols that are broken there,
Yes.
But of course she's wonderful. She's very sweet. And they're very accommodating and put up with me literally crashing in on them with 15 minutes notice, very unexpectedly. Gray Eagle is not a place you ever really would get to accidentally in most circumstances. Yeah. They're
that's amazing. The women really are like that. I mean, my Lori is like that. It's like, oh, I have to clean up the house, and I'm like, where? I'm a guy. I'm like, what is wrong? I don't understand. It looks. I mean, you could eat off the floors, and it's like, okay.
Well, I wouldn't say our house you could eat off the floors, but we keep it pretty. We do a pretty good job of keeping it up. But nonetheless, I know that for a fact I would have died. Cheyenne would have. Yes, I understood the situation I was putting John in. I just didn't care. And we did have a couple hours of chat. It was really nice hang out and have coffee. And but yeah, I've known John for oh my. It's got to be more than 20 years. I may be close to 25.
I think I've talked longer, in the Zoom, the other night when we didn't have very many viewers. I think that's the longest I've talked to him, for lack of a better term, face to face. Because like you said, at the different shows, we're all working, and it's like, hi, how you doing? 5-10 minutes here and there. Well, the last show we did was February in Vegas, and we were all so busy, except for when I got attacked and thrown to the ground and started wrestling with one guy.
Hey, you won, so I don't. Nobody feels sorry for you, Howie. Is that Mikey Mike Suska that just popped in?
That is Mikey Mike. I love the background.
Oh my gosh, I love this guy. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing good. How's everything?
Well, it is. It is. I'd say it's good. I think everything's, in context is good. And I kind of had to say that on Thanksgiving. I put that video out on Facebook where, it's sometimes you don't think about things being all that good, and especially in our industry, but could be worse for sure. Could be a lot worse.
Definitely could be worse.
I really enjoyed that video. I think it put it into perspective for a lot of people. Myself, I'm grateful. I'm not really worried, and there is hope, or light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak. We may be able to save our summer. I remain hopeful.
I think so. I think that, now nobody knows. And of course, there's already we're starting to see a bit of pushing matches with the vaccines and the amount of doses available and, who's obligated to what and this and that and the other thing. And, I think as long as we expect that's going to happen, it's not going to catch us by surprise and we're not going to be so distraught over it. But the fact is that there are 3, potentially soon to be 4 vaccines that will be rolling out in the market as Johnson & Johnson's about to announce. Never before in the history of our species have we produced a vaccine with that level of efficacy or any vaccine in less than a year. I mean, that just hasn't happened, let alone 4 and counting. And, all of us in this call, I think, are pretty fortunate. We all live in pretty wealthy countries. we're going to get that vaccine sooner, just by our birthright, basically, and of course, down in Australia, you guys got nothing to worry about. You don't have any cases anyway, so good for you. But actually, good for you. I mean,
I think I said in the summertime, I said, you know what, this is at this moment in time, this is the space shot, but with much more computing power, and the fact that we understand DNA and how they were able to replicate that, which we didn't have for the moonshot that was done with slide rules, and that wonderful woman that actually did the math with pencil and paper. And so it's not surprising that they could do this. And, it's $1 trillion, bonus for whoever comes up with this, and gets that out,
Well, and there's going to be several, and I think that's a good thing, because that's going to help us survive.
Absolutely.
Certainly, as time goes on, we're going to find certain ones behave different way in different people. But when you talk about saving a summer, now, first of all, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a virologist, I'm not an epidemiologist, I'm none of those things. I'm a simple sound guy, but I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express many times when I was on the road. So
at least once, right? At least once.
Gold card member. But, the thing is, we start talking about saving our summer. First of all, DJs are about the only people in the industry that have had regular work. Even as irregular as it feels, you can do a wedding for 15 people. You can't do a concert for 15 people. You can't do Broadway for 15 people. So DJs are the only ones that have had any real work to speak of. And I think that that's a really good sign that things will come in the spring. Late spring, early summer, you're going to start to see, these things with increasing regularity. I think already probably in January, maybe even February, you're going to start seeing a lot more people as the vaccines get distributed, as people start seeing the light at the end of the tunnel.
Taking a breath, right?
Yeah, they're going to start booking events. They're going to start sending deposits. That's going to start breathing life back into our industry. And then you're going to start seeing those events start happening late spring, early summer. And we're thinking from the large concert side, from the larger event side, we're really expecting by July to kind of be back to work. And in fact, there are festivals, with tens of thousands of people that are selling tickets now for July and August. That might be a bit optimistic, but I think that, people are doing that with some level of prudence too. So
call it a political event.
Well, actually, I mean, I'm from New Jersey.
Or a protest, one of the two.
They make billions. No, they make billions off of the shore alone, just the shore, and we cannot afford to be shut down for 2 years. So what it's going to be, I mean, they were very blunt about it. Here is the vaccine. It's going to be, we're going to have enough for everyone at least by May. And if you choose not to take it, you're on your own, but we're going to open up the economy for the good of everyone. And if you don't want to take the vaccine, you're on your own.
They're probably going to limit. There's that, here's your green card pass to get into places, just like the mask, right? To me, that's a green ticket as well. You don't have a mask, you can't come in. There will be
jobs and schools that'll say, just like right now, if you don't have your vaccinations for a school, you can't get in.
Yeah,
I'm sure they'll require that. And certain employers will say, you have to be vaccinated or you just have to leave. So the 70% that said they'll definitely get it, and then there's going to be probably another.
Well, there's the 30% that's already had it, so we're good.
That'll have to get it. So
is that the right math? I don't know.
Yeah. No, the thing is, though, they said if we hit 75 to 80% of people get the vaccine, they'll be able to open back up. And I think that's very hopeful.
And I was just going to ask you about the concert and the Hollywood, not the Hollywood, but the Broadway show. I work for Stagehand also, a DJ.
Okay.
So July does sounds about right.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what we're all thinking. And again, this was said by smarter people than me. It was said 6 months ago. The timeline isn't our timeline, it's the virus's timeline. But again, never before in the history of our species have we attacked a virus with the, ferocity and the technology that we have now. And I mean, it feels like a really long year. People sort of tease me a little bit about the gray in my beard. I feel like I've aged 10 years in this year. Certainly not an easy time to lead a company through in our industry. But, honestly, gang, I mean, we're talking about maybe 16 to 18 months. And that's a long time, but it isn't, I mean, we ought to, we need to do, two things I think we should do. Just me talking here. All right. Number one, we should pat ourselves on the back for, getting through this thing in 16 months. And two, we should pay serious attention to how we got here in the first place, because it's certainly going to happen again at some point. So what lessons did we learn? How can we mitigate this in the future? How can we prevent this? How can we take 16 months and make it none, And I mean, in other words, we should be proud of what we've accomplished, but not too proud that we lose vigilance. So, but yeah, I'm thinking, June, July, and I'll tell you what, Sean, you might find this funny, but, being a stagehand, that stuff's heavy. Our gear is heavy. It is, those injuries are life altering or life ending. So I actually contacted some friends of mine that run a dance studio, and they also teach yoga. And I started thinking about getting our stagehands and stuff kind of in in the late spring, getting them into some yoga and stuff, because I don't want us to get hurt. I don't want people getting hurt,
Right. Especially jumping right back into it. And I do that at work all day long, ergonomics and all the other fun stuff. Right. And always select the right. I mean, you have to be sensitive on, not putting anyone out. Right. But select the right person for the right job. Don't try to discriminate anyone. I'm not saying a 60-year-old can't lift, 80-pound bags of concrete, but you know what? I bet you there are few, but there are definitely a lot more 25-year-olds with, burly muscles and ready to go. Right. Not saying that you have to hire short people to work inside airplanes all day long, but you know what? That works better if they're inside the baggage compartment or something like that. It's ergonomically friendlier for them compared to a 6-foot-tall person. Not trying to discriminate, but I'm just saying, make wise choices. So, yeah, think about it early. Get them to do yoga. Get them to stretching. Try to avoid those injuries. And ergonomics is all about change, right? Just don't keep people in the same position all the time.
Now check this out.
That's why your chair is a 5-point chair and adjustable, and it goes up and it down, and you can lean in and back, and that's because you need change. Because if I keep you in the correct ergonomic position all day long, you're going to hurt. Like if you're just sitting here typing away all day long, you're going to hurt. But if I can lean back and or stand up, sit, stand desk, do this, that, and that, do a little bit of yoga, do some, work and stretch, go lift that 50-pound bag of concrete for a couple of minutes, right? Or go get that trussing and haul it on the other upstairs, downstairs, whatever it takes, right? So all of those little things help, in moderation, I would call it. But always select the right person for the right job. It's always helpful. But yeah, I mean, it's so. But as a business owner, you can't discriminate. You have to be sensitive to that. It's. But that's kind of part of the interview process as well, too. I mean, you can, in a way, select the right client or person for your job too. So
now check this out. How about being on power when you got to pull those big gigantic cables?
Oh, feeders. Yeah. You know what, Sean? That is the first thing. Whenever we get a rookie, that's the first job. We have them run feeders because it's hey, welcome to the club, right? And it does not matter. By the way, Mike, you mentioned discriminate. I'll be honest. We don't. I think we focus on one is awareness. Doesn't really matter. It does matter, but it doesn't really matter if you're a 105-pound female or you're a 220-pound male. If you lose a fight with a 1,000-pound stack of speakers, it's going to seriously injure you.
Right.
So, we focus on, not having any heroes.
Right. Teamwork, all of that.
Exactly.
Mechanical means instead of trying to be He-Man or woman or whichever,
exactly.
Having the proper
awareness.
climbing gear. Yeah, exactly.
So in fact,
having slip resistant ramps instead of, slick ramps that helps, with that coefficiency and as well. So.
Very nice.
Yeah, I hate those type of load in and load out.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we get a lot of them. We have a lot of stuff that's in Minnesota, a lot of outdoor stuff that doesn't have loading docks,
and it's wet and rainy, snowy and cold, and ooh.
Now, This here,
I
she's
hate
going to get mad at
Amber.
me for talking about her, but we have to talk about, first of all, she is an incredibly talented lighting designer, but she can't be, 100 pounds. Nonetheless, she's very tough, but she's also the undisputed reigning queen of Bemidji. She was the last Miss Bemidji which was part of the Miss Minnesota, Miss America thing before they stopped doing the pageant. So now no one can ever take her crown. She is the last reigning queen of Bemidji.
Great.
And yes, and of course, she obviously is very talented, very well spoken, woman, and she has this pageant image, with tiaras and dresses, but we see her in black cargo pants and a black shirt and black baseball cap, loading heavy stuff on trucks. So,
All right.
Hey, Ben,
Yes,
check out Diamond Dallas page, DDP. He got really into doing the yoga. All right, and helping people
okay.
recover from injury and all that. So check out his video series. That would
Is he
help you guys.
Is
Be
he
right
the
back.
wrestler?
Yeah. Diamond Dallas Page. Yep. They've had like Vietnam vets and, all kinds of people from every walk of life. People that have been in accidents that couldn't move and using canes, and now they're practically running around doing whatever they want.
Wow.
Well, yeah, I think like you said, first of all, is have a plan, have some awareness of your situation, have a plan. And I think that's wonderful.
Yeah.
I'll check that out. Because,
Yep.
for us, first of all, being in Northern Minnesota, and Sean, you look like a pretty healthy guy. I'd love to have you on my crew. No doubt about it. But,
and he's a nice guy too.
I could tell. I'd love to work with you, my friend. That'd be a lot of fun. But actually, I'll tell you what, that's one of the things I'm really proud of. And I realize I'm speaking to a room that is 100% male right now. But I tell you, we have found an incredible depth of talent from our female counterparts. And we started a program at our local high school to train sound and lighting technicians. And that's where Alyssa came from. And, again, some tremendous talent. But as I was pulling up that other picture, I came across this one, and I just want to take a minute to share it with you, because this was at a Christian festival. So we had all volunteer stagehands.
Oh, very nice.
And pay no attention to all the mess on the stage. I have no idea what that's going about here anyways. So we had all volunteers helping us out. Which, Sean, as you know, that can be a blessing and a curse. It's
Right.
a curse because they have no idea what they're doing. Whereas a guy like you, we could give you a set of instructions and it's just going to happen. But the blessing is that they're excited to be there. They volunteered to be there. And so, they're excited. And anyway, these two girls here, their family is involved in volunteering for other aspects of the festival. And their brother has volunteered as a stagehand for several years. And they made the mistake of saying something about how, girls probably weren't allowed or something like that. Well, so I quickly went and found Miss Alyssa right here, our undisputed reigning queen of Bemidji. And I said, Alyssa, we have two volunteers that want to work with you. And first of all, these younger girls just thought that was amazing that we had a woman on our crew and a woman who is in charge of things, And the first time you meet Alyssa, you'll know why she's in charge of things. She's just very talented. But anyway, so it was just, I loved this moment. I captured this moment because I knew at that moment that these girls' lives had been changed, that they saw that there's a whole different set of possibilities out there. And we did have them run feeder, by the way. You'll be happy to know that. So, hey, you know what? No exceptions, right? Go run the feeder, by the way, for those who know my good friend Neil McKinney, he was also my roommate. This in my camper here. This was Neil and I shared this camper at the festival, and there's Neil reviewing plots and input lists for the next day's bands. So, and this picture is taken at 11 p.m. So no rest for the weary,
That's for sure.
I do kind of miss it. You can tell, right? I kind of miss it.
Just a bit. I think we all do. We really do. I know I do. We did a thing on that, a show yesterday. What are you looking forward to most? And I said, I'm looking forward to the adrenaline rush, the first thumbs up and the first high five you know, when you knock it out of the park and the crowd is happy, you know, that's just, you can't do that over camera, you know, it's just not the same.
I think, you know, for all of us maybe, and, you know, I can't speak for anybody but myself, but I did DJ for 15 years and there was a point where I started not looking forward to going to the events anymore. You know, I got to work today, kind of thing, you know, and I knew that was when it was time to hang up the headphones. I knew that I was just no longer the right guy for my clients. I knew I wasn't being fair to them. You know, and I DJ'd, I'm sure it was at least 1,000 events. I know it's an easy round number to throw out, but you know, over that length of time and the number of shows I was doing a year, you know, it was a lot. I haven't got that way with live sound yet, but I think I was probably getting close this spring. And so this may have come just in time, you know, and you know, sometimes you have to remind yourself, you know, I don't know about you, Sean, but, you know, there's times where you have to step back and say, you know, everybody else in this building paid to be here, you know, I'm getting paid to be in this place. And I think Mike said something actually just along those lines the other day. By the way, though, so Sean, just before we start missing it too much, I found this picture this morning talking to a friend about something else. And if you ever worked outdoor shows, I know you have, you're going to love this picture. So there it is.
Yeah.
Oh, just a bit wet.
Yeah. Been there.
Is it rain or is it sweat? You know what? It's outdoors. It could be both. Don't know. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
Slightly moist.
Wow.
Yeah. And why do we wear black?
We did Taylor Swift 2 years ago at the football University of Louisville's football stadium.
Okay.
And it was almost 100 degrees out there. And that's a big show. You know, when she comes, that's a big show. She had 20 trucks.
I was gonna say, how many trucks? Yeah, 20. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we had people passing out. It was that hot.
Well, guys, I'll share some news with you also. We're actually planning to come into the US in summer also. There's 10 of us, a group of 10 guys playing Hit Vegas June, July in summer. So we're quite ambitious to be there.
Oh, very good. Well, if things work out like as planned, I know a lot of people have come over for Expo in Atlantic City,
right?
Which is the big expo. And then they leapfrog if they want to do the Vegas then afterwards.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I really connect with you guys with all the work you guys do also. Now, even here at the moment, our laws have just changed. We're allowed to have 50 people on the dance floor now as opposed to 20. So we're slowly migrating with both weddings and non-wedding functions, both indoor and outdoor. It's state-by-state scenario here. Different states have different laws and regulations. Melbourne's been locked down for 6 months and only open their borders on 23rd of November. So it's only recent. So everyone's really excited to obviously reach out to family and friends. And yeah, that's where we're at. So I just thought I'd share that with you too.
And we were kind of there recently, and then all of a sudden back on the lockdown. So
well, we got to, you know, listen, Mikey, I tell you what, it's heartbreaking and it's soul crushing, you know, to see that, to feel that, to be a part of that. Two things. One, we've got to get ahead of this thing. You know, I mean, we've just got to get ahead of this thing. And two, we have to remember that even though it very much in the US particularly feels like we're moving backwards, you know, we have more people dying a day right now than we did in Pearl Harbor. And that's happening every day. More people are dying than died in Pearl Harbor. It's easy to get depressed and it's easy to feel like this thing is running us over. And to a degree, it kind of is. But at the same time, it has no idea what's coming, right? We've got the vaccines coming. We've got, you know, the awareness. We got to do some of these things. But we can very clearly see the light at the end of the tunnel, you know.
And hopefully some of the vaccine progress that they've made might help us for like flus and other things that are very similar, that they can still fast track things and get, you know, I know it's a lot of forecasting. It's not like we know what we have now and this is what we're building to. So I know there's a lot of forecasting in that flu virus type of thing. Well, we think we got the right cocktail for you. Here you go. Try this one. You know,
right.
Well, still got the flu. Well, I guess that one didn't work. We'll try a different one. Okay. You know, it is a practice, right? So
I think that, when you look at the fatality rates of COVID versus the flu, obviously there was a lot more urgency to deal with COVID. But like you said, now that we've applied this, knowledge, maybe we can use that to, here's the example I like to think about. It just sort of gets me through the day sometimes, And, Michael and I had a great talk and we talked about, what gets us through the day, which sometimes is harder than other days, right? To make matters worse, here in Minnesota, of course, by 3 p.m, it's dark out. So, I don't know about the rest of the world. Maybe the sun sets there too. But anyway, to think about.
We're about 3:30, I think. So it's close.
Is that specific time?
Yeah, specific.
Specific time, yeah. So not far out of town, where I live right now, there is an abandoned building that was I don't know if I'm going to use the right word, sanatorium or whatever. But anyway, where people who had tuberculosis would go to quarantine. And there was an article in a newspaper about this summer. And I actually kind of thought it might be kind of cool to go check out this old building. I haven't done it yet. So I'm not sure you're allowed to, but yeah, anyway.
So now we have a new outbreak of TB coming around the corner.
Exactly. Yeah. Wait, is this recorded? This isn't public, is it? Oh, yeah. Okay. I would never do that. Anyway, but they were talking in this article in the paper about this one college age young man who was there for 7 years. 7 years. And we're talking about your prime years, like, 21 to 28, was in a room in this place in quarantine for 7 years.
Wow.
Now that is, none of us can say that. We've endured 16. Well, that's not even quite a year right now, but we've endured, 10 or 11 months, 10 months with things we don't like, but nothing like that.
Right.
Anyway, bottom line, we know it's not going to be 7 years. But here's the punchline. I've been in this industry for 27 years. I've never had an event postponed or canceled because of tuberculosis.
Right.
I've never even heard the word tuberculosis at an event. There's magnometers because we're worried about idiots bringing in guns. There's bomb sniffing dogs because we're worried about that. Yeah. But we've never been worried about a virus until this one.
Right. We didn't take anybody's temperature before.
No. And, that gives me a lot of faith that we're going to get past this. And this will become another asterisk, with tuberculosis and polio and, smallpox and measles, mumps, rubella.
We didn't ship everybody to a small island somewhere and said, fend for yourself, right? And supplies dropped in periodically.
Yeah, you're talking. Well, they did do that with the lepers. There were leper colonies. Now, leprosy can be cured with certain drug protocols, and you're good to go in a few months.
Mike, I know you're a very well-read and very smart guy. So correct me if I'm wrong. I read, but I may have this wrong. These are the first mRNA vaccines, messenger RNA vaccines that we have ever successfully deployed, right? Or will be.
Are you asking me?
I was asking Mike. Well, either anybody. If anybody knows, jump in.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you're asking me as well.
We got a couple of mics here.
Yeah, any mic. I'll take a mic.
Any mic.
If you say Mike enough times, I'll respond.
Even Sean Mike or John Mike. I'll take any mic.
Exactly.
That's my belief. Now, you guys get a kick out of this. I'm the physics guy, right? But everybody else in my family is biology. Like my entire family is all in the biology field, the medical field. I'm like, no way. I'm gonna go hang out with speakers and sound guys. That's what I want to do. By the way, I got the better end of the deal. They might be making more money, but I'm having way more fun. So
yeah.
But anyway. I believe that these are the first 2 mRNA vaccines that we've deployed. And that being the case, like you said, Mike, that this is tremendous step forward for how we address everything else. Say, well, what did we learn here? How you said it was our moonshot. Well, what did we learn putting people on the moon? 5 times we landed people on the moon. What did we learn? Which, by the way, conspiracy theorists, yes, we landed on the moon. Just right. Sorry. So it's a fact. We landed on the moon.
Yeah.
what do we learn through COVID that we can now apply towards, other things that are ailing us that we know of and future things that we don't yet know of. It's, there's a lot to be hopeful for, I think so.
I do believe so.
That's what gets me through the day.
Yeah. Sounds wonderful. All right. I guess, if anybody have a final question for Ben before we wrap it up?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Jimmy.
Yeah, I do. What is your favorite ice cream?
That's like asking me to pick a favorite child.
Yes.
Holy cow.
I knew that was coming.
In my freezer right now, I have candy cane, eggnog, and cinnamon. So,
is that the inside freezer or the outside freezer?
well, so
and how much does he have stashed down at the warehouse?
I don't know what you're talking about. Honey, I got to go to the office for a little bit. See you later. No, so I don't keep any ice cream in the fridge freezer. And I don't know why. I suppose that if I feel like if I have to walk 20 feet to get it, then I earned it. I don't know, I don't
Do
know.
you have a $24,000 refrigerator?
No, I don't. I just got a refrigerator that keeps food cold. That's all I got. I think people be really disappointed in my, in my sound system at home too. They say, "Oh, your home theater system must be amazing." No, this is my sanctuary. I come here to get away from technology. So
Yeah.
except my office. In here, there's pretty cool stuff around me, but not because look. Here's the deal. I'll say this on the public record. Normally, I'm on the road 200 days a year.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's a problem with the technology, guess who's going to get a phone call from home? So I'm like,
The one with all the answers.
right.
Well, my favorite is Spumoni.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
nice. Yeah. I would say that my grandmother's favorite.
Yeah. I'm an Italian kid, raised, and Spumoni, and the other one would have to be, I do lean towards like anything peanut butter.
Yes.
But I don't know. I'm blueberry cheesecake, man.
Oh, that does sound good. David J, thanks for joining us, my friend. Of course, his audio isn't on, so he can't hear me, but I'm German Irish, but I think my stomach is Italian. So, well, hey, this has been fun, gang, and I hope you all hang out and enjoy each other's company and lift each other up. Again, Mike and I had a great talk about that. It's okay to not be okay right now, too. I mean, this is we just lean on each other, and some days we're up and some days we're down, and if we can get each other through it, I think that's a really good thing. I think Mike's going to be on here for a while. If you want to chat with him, he had some really good things to say the other day. I will say, if you're looking for a good laugh, tune in, same bat channel, same bat time on December 22nd. Myself and my very good friend Rachel Lynch are going to.
Oh, nice.
It gets better, Mike. We're going to be baking cookies.
Awesome.
And if you've never,
I don't need.
Yes.
Will they be pizza flavored?
I don't know. They'll probably be charcoal flavored, but
Yeah.
My money's on the Stowe household.
I don't know, man. I got my son who did his 30 days of cooking, and then I've got my youngest daughter who takes baking very seriously. But I think we'll have some fun. I think we'll make some great treats. Super excited to share that time with Rachel and Dottie. I think that they are just, first of all, what a tremendous contributor to our industry. I have tremendous respect for her, but two, she is so funny. It's just, it's sincere funny, it's just real.
She's a riot.
Yeah, so I think that's going to be great. We're going to go unscripted it might be like a 2-hour super special. Watch us destroy our kitchens.
That'll be a great time. All right. Well, thank you all for tuning in. Ben, thank you so much.
Thanks, Ben. Appreciate it.
Good night, everyone.
Peace with you. See ya. Bye.